Hey guys, Jonty Hikmet here, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to speak about what to do when we first start this process. Now you may have seen a video I did a while ago called My Entire Process Broken Down in 3 Stages. Or maybe you're watching this in my community and you've already seen me speak about the journey, the stages that we go on to get lasting relief from symptoms. And I've had some feedback that people watch that video and they go, this is great, but it all feels like there's so much for me to do in order for me to get better. Where do I start? Do I have to improve all these things before I get better? It just all feels like a lot to people. So I thought I'd create this video, which is all about what to do straight away, day one. To be honest, what to do in the first 1 to 3 months, just to get you going and for it to not feel so overwhelming. So that's what we're going to speak about in today's video. So as always, I've got my whiteboard here. If you can't read things, don't worry, I'm going to read them out throughout the video. So this is what people tend to do on a timeline in the first 1 to 3 months, depending on where someone's at. And the expectation of what I'm going to tell you to do in a moment is anything between 10 to 120 minutes daily. So the reason I've got such a broad range of 10 to 120 minutes is I know some people have very, very busy lives and the most they can do is maybe 10 minutes of what I'm about to describe to you. Some people have a bit more time and they can maybe commit 2 hours, but I don't want people to overly commit their days to doing all of this. So I've started at 10 and limited it to 120, but I'll talk about that more later about what we have to do. So day one, first thing I want you to start doing is learning. And learning can take on many forms. You can either already have been reading, maybe you've already read a book about TMS and pain relief. Maybe you're watching these videos, learning. Maybe you've joined my community already and you're already going through the videos. First thing you do, day one, first thing you're doing in the first 1 to 3 months is doing lots of learning. You're learning why you have symptoms. You're learning about personality traits. You're learning about the tools you need to heal your pain. You're watching videos, reading books, learn. So books, videos, excuse my handwriting. We're learning a lot straight away. So, you commit however much per day to do that. I don't know, reading a book is 20, 30 minutes a day, or watching some of my videos also, 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, learning. Next thing we're doing straight away, day one, asking lots of questions. This is where being in a community is amazing because you get the support and guidance from someone like me, other people at different stages of the journey. So asking lots of questions in some sort of community. Or booking calls with the various, TMS practitioners that exist these days, or going on the various forums. Like at the time of recording this, there's a free version of my community which you can join and immediately start asking questions and just figuring out, does this apply to me? And I don't quite understand this. Can you explain it to me? Like challenge. When I say challenge, I don't mean get rude or get nasty or anything, but challenge the practitioners. Challenge them and say, well, this is happening to me. What can I do here? And how should I be in this situation? Like really, all the questions you need to ask away. Anything about your specific symptoms or anything about the things that you're learning, lots of asking. You're doing this day one, first 1 to 3 months. You're learning, you're asking, you're just getting to understand this process. You're joining different communities, whatever it is. Like I said, if you're watching this in my community, hopefully you're already learning lots and already asking me and other people lots of questions. Okay? Then, also day one, people are like, okay, I'm learning and asking lots of questions, but is there anything else that I can do immediately to start to practice? And the most important skills, at least in my method, and lots of other TMS practitioners' method to learn to do, is meditation and journaling. So the first thing straight away that I have people learning is meditation and journaling. These skills are skills. These tools are skills. These are things that it's going to take you a while to really be able to learn. So straight away, day one, already begin to do a meditation and do a journaling session. Now, if you're watching this in my community, Throughout the course, you're going to learn different types of meditations, different types of journaling. You're going to learn actually how I need you to meditate and how I need you to journal. So you're going to learn that on the course, but just for the sake of right now, day one, you watching this, I've put a guided meditation below, and I've put a journal prompt for you below just to start to use. So the meditation and journaling prompt and recording that I've put below, that's something that you're just going to use until you get to the meditation videos later and the meditation lessons later, when you can learn a bit more about the intricacies of meditation. But for now, you can start with the thing that I've put below. If you're watching this on YouTube, then I need you to start to learn how to meditate and journal straight away. You need to start learning and asking questions about the nuances of these two tools, because they're very important tools. Going forward, in the other video, if you've watched my video about the entire process to getting lasting relief, I speak about emotional, mental, physical and spiritual health and what it entails to enhance each of those areas. And you find that meditation and journaling is in the emotional and mental section. But once you start to cultivate this as a daily practice, it bleeds over into your physical and spiritual health. Like, the more you can learn to meditate, it improves your sleep. It improves your clarity. The more you learn to journal, it will help you set boundaries with people in your life. It will help you maybe set boundaries at work. It will help you think about intimacy, and it will basically improve all the areas of your life, meditation and journaling, if you learn to do it properly from the get-go. And again, it's a skill that you're going to learn. You're going to do these meditation and journaling day one, and you're going to go, what was that all about? Did I do it right? What's going on? And then you come back and ask questions. Then you come back and learn some more. So the only thing I want you to do in the first day, the first 1 to 3 months, is start to do a meditation, start to journal. You're not going to get it right immediately. It's going to feel messy. You're not going to be sure that you're doing it correctly. But just start, and then ask lots of questions and learn lots of things about it. Start doing it. If going inside feels all uncomfortable and it's too much, it's too dysregulating, watch my other video about what to do when we have pain. There I speak about the different stages that one needs to do when you're in pain, and if it's too dysregulating to go inside and to meditate or to journal, there are some light breathing techniques that I speak about in that video. So just go over to that video and watch that. That can also help you. So we're learning, we're asking, we're doing meditation and journaling. That's the first thing we're doing. And then the last thing to concentrate on, first day, first 1 to 3 months, is living. And when I say living, I mean, don't become obsessed with doing this healing stuff. So the 10 to 120 minutes daily is learning, asking and doing. And then the rest of what I need you to do is start to live. I need you to go out and meet a friend. I need you to get to work if you're working, or simple task. If you're really watching this and you're really debilitated right now, start to live and do simple things like doing the bed, brushing your teeth, cooking yourself a meal, watching a film. Just start to live. I can write so many different things here. Go for a walk. Don't just be doing the learning, the asking, the doing when it comes to getting lasting relief from pain. Just live your life. If you're not currently, then start to get to it in small steps. Again, this is why it really helps to be in any sort of community where I and others can encourage you just to start to just make sure that you're also living your life. It's the spiritual component of healing that I speak about in the entire process. Getting to your creative outlets, speaking to your friends, getting to work or whatever it is. And again, this is case dependent. I know you're watching this going, I don't have a job and I've got nothing that I'm really doing in my life right now. Start doing something. Start something, even if it's simple, even if it's making your bed, even if it's just catching up with a friend that you haven't caught up with for a while. It's important not to do too much of the obsessive stuff straight away, to do too much of the learning, asking and doing. 120 minutes maximum for the day. The rest of the day you're living. Okay. Past this stage, so the first 1 to 3 months, past this stage, no need to learn and ask as much, or rather don't become obsessed. So what do I mean by that? I mean, we're always going to be learning and asking when we're in this process, even past the 3 month mark. You're still going to be learning. I'm still learning about things, I'm still learning. I've still got mentors that I ask. So I'm not saying we stop learning and asking. Just past the 1 to 3 month stage, there's a lot more of the doing and the living happening. Some people can get stuck in this frame of for months on end. All they're doing is reading every single book and watching every video, and they're not doing enough of the doing. They're doing too much asking. They're doing too much figuring things out, which can often be a type of resistance. If we're doing too much figuring out, it's an impediment to allowing emotions and actually doing what we need to do. We're trying to figure out, why do I have sadness? Why do I have anger? It's like, no. At some point, you've got to stop trying to figure it out, ask that part to step aside and just let yourself feel, let yourself cry, let yourself feel full of doubt, let yourself feel anger. So past this initial stage, when we're doing lots of learning and asking, then it becomes about going, okay, I'm going to keep learning and asking a bit, but I also need to put this figuring out part aside and actually start doing and living. Again, this is where having a community really helps, to help you with the nuances of this. So this is something that can get you going. If you're in this community, I've put the meditation and the journaling prompt below that you can do immediately. Obviously, you're coming to the calls, hopefully. You've got me on the calls to speak to do meditations with, to learn to ask, to do meditation, to speak about journaling, and then living. And then living. If you're not really living your life right now, then start to do small things. Start to get back in touch with someone that you haven't got in touch with for a while. So that is a bit about where to start. And then I just want to say one more thing about what to expect when we start in this way. So one more slide, one more page about expectations. So what could happen when we start this process is we go through something called a healing crisis. It's very common. And a healing crisis is when things feel as if they're getting worse before they're getting better. And I say it's common, it doesn't happen to everyone, but if it does happen to you, know that that's normal. Know that often when we start to allow emotions, doing the meditation and the journaling in particular, and starting to explore our internal world, things will come up internally in our mind and body that our nervous system is just not used to. It's used to burying it and giving us pain, and all of a sudden we're trying to bring it forward. We're saying, no, let's see if I can feel my anger, let's see if I can feel my fear. That can make the nervous system shake a bit, and we go through something which may feel like a healing crisis. This is why, again, having a community is really important, because if you do experience this at the beginning, I'm there to tell you you're good, it's fine, this is normal, it will pass. You know, if it all feels too overwhelming, you can back off, take a breather. Again, watch that video of what to do when pain happens. You can either go inside and write all the things arising for you during the healing crisis, or maybe you just need to change environment and really take your mind off of things and watch some films in the initial stage. So this is, again, why having mentors and a community is really important, because if you go through this, it's common, it's normal, it's safe, it's almost meant to happen. And to have someone telling you that is important, and what to do when you're going through it is important. So a healing crisis is common. And maybe something that needs to happen to re-regulate the nervous system. Other expectations. If you stay consistent with what I described to you before, if you're learning and asking and doing the meditation and the journaling in the very simple form that I asked you to do at the beginning, you're going to notice that, oh God, I don't really know how to meditate. I don't really know how to journal. I need to ask more questions. I need to learn more. If you're consistent with learning and asking and doing, then you'll start to become more proficient at the tools, because you'll get answers to your questions. You'll go, what do? I sit and meditate and I'm full of doubt. I'm restless. I don't think I'm doing it right. I've got all these obsessive thoughts. I can't stop thinking. You'll come and ask someone like me or another mentor, and they'll tell you what to do in those situations. It's normal to feel doubt. It's normal to overthink. See what happens when you zoom out from that. How do you feel about that? You'll become more proficient at the tools. You'll become more proficient at meditating and journaling. Some will say, I don't want to journal. I don't like doing it when I'm doing it. And they'll tell you, write about the fact that you hate journaling. Write about the fact that you're even afraid of your pain. It's okay to write about the fact that you fear your pain. A mentor will tell you that, because a lot of people come to me and they think, I can't write that. A mentor will tell you that, and you'll become more proficient at the tools, and you'll see why that's so beneficial to do that and the method to do that. You'll gain insights. When you meditate and journal and you ask questions and you learn, you'll gain clarity about your own life. You'll start to see that the reason you have symptoms is because your mind and body wants you to go inside to sit with certain things arising for you, like anger and fear and sensations. And when you learn to sit with that stuff, either through meditation or journaling, you'll start to gain insights about your life. You'll start to realize, maybe I do need to change my career. Maybe I'm not speaking up in my relationship. Maybe I need to get to my creative outlets more. Maybe I've never really let myself cry. You'll start to gain insights if you stay consistent with what I've just told you to do. And they're invaluable. You may not solve those things immediately in the first 1 to 3 months, but you'll certainly start to go, oh wow, I do need to change all these things. Maybe I'm overworking. Maybe I really need to shift things at work. You'll gain a lot of insights and you'll have someone there to support you with that. In terms of symptoms, your symptoms, the most likely thing to happen in the first 1 or 3 months is you'll notice symptoms kind of rising and falling. You'll notice symptoms moving. You may notice gradual improvements, but the more likely thing is you'll notice symptoms will move. This is very common. It's often called the symptom imperative, where symptoms will move around the body just to kind of continually not test you, but really just have you stay consistent. This is the way that I like to see it. Symptoms move around to just keep you on track and keep you going inside and really gaining the insights that you need to. Because for a lot of us, if symptoms go away in the first week, as amazing as that sounds, we won't actually gain the insights that we need to gain. We won't actually make the improvements in our life if pain goes away. We'll just go on as normal at work. We'll go on as normal in our relationships. We'll go on as normal not expressing anger and fear. Symptoms kind of need to be around as long as your mind will keep giving you symptoms as long as it knows, until it knows that you've figured out the things that you need to figure out, until you've gained the insights and actually done what it needs you to do. And often that may not happen in the first 1 or 3 months, but symptoms will move to kind of give you the indication you're on the right track. That's if you stay consistent. If you're inconsistent, I've written just purgatory, which is a bit damning. Like, if you're inconsistent with what I described before about learning and asking and doing, and you kind of sometimes watch a video, you're not really starting to meditate or to journal, then you're in purgatory, meaning you'll just go around in circles. You'll just, you may see a bit of improvement because you start to go, oh wow, I'm starting to, maybe understand this a better. But then if you don't actually start to meditate or journal and all you're doing is learning, and not actually actioning what you need to do, then you'll just go around in circles and it will just go on for months and months. So stay consistent in order for this to work. A healing crisis may occur, and that's perfectly normal. If you need support on that, that's what communities are here for. You don't have to join my community. You can join another person's community. It's fine. If you're watching this in my community, I'm here for you. First 1 to 3 months, 10 minutes minimum, 120 minutes maximum. Learn, ask, do, live. Past this stage, there's no need to learn and ask as much, even though we're always learning and asking. Don't become obsessed with learning and asking. Become more about doing and living. That's what happens after the first 3 months. So that's my video. I always am aware that I talk fairly quickly because I want to get through the material as quick as possible. If you have any questions and you're watching this on YouTube, please ask below. If you're watching this in my community, you have any questions, ask in the forum or DM me or come to class and ask me. Otherwise, thanks for watching. See you soon.